fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love, and with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have
Okay, and I am live properly now. Thank you guys for joining me, and do appreciate it. I will do all the... Oh. Let me just do one thing. I can hear my headphones and it's echoing. I don't want that while we're live. So, hope you're all doing really well. I'm going to do my hellos and all the rest of it in a moment. But first, I'm going to just basically let you all know what tonight's stream holds for everybody. So we are of course going to do our market update as usual. We're going to then talk about why I believe XRP is the next sort of blue chip token to really do some flying. Yes, I know it's already up over 100% since the last time we actually had a chat about XRP, but it does look ready to break out again. So we're going to look at XRP, we're going to talk about the news surrounding it and why it's likely to break out again. It looks very much, in my opinion, like it's going to be heading back up towards its all-time high very soon. So it's maybe a good trading opportunity for people, even if they don't like the token itself, which I can understand because there are some problems with it, and of course with Ripple itself as a company. But we are going to talk about that because at the end of the day, we like to make money. The next thing we're going to talk about is this major bug on Ethereum. There was a massive bug on Ethereum that caused the actual chain to split. You may not have heard much about it because it doesn't seem like it's actually had much of an effect on the market, and not many people seem too particularly sort of worried about it either. So hopefully nothing to worry about there, but I will tell you what's happened there so you're all aware. We're going to talk about some of the latest hacks on DeFi and why a little bit of FUD may be coming back into the market. We'll look at that fear and greed crypto index. It's always a good indicator of where we're at. We're then going to talk about institutional investors, then Cardano ADA and what they're doing that's going to make Cardano basically explode even further in price. And then finally, I'm going to take any requests from you guys over what coins to do some charts on. But of course, we will do the regular ones. We're going to do XRP today. We'll also do Ethereum and Bitcoin as usual. And then you guys will get to ask me what coins you'd like to do. Before we get into it, before I say hello to everybody in the chat, I do see you all there. I'd like to just ask you all, if you're not already subscribed to the channel or following it on Twitch, I'm on both at the moment, YouTube and Twitch, please do subscribe or follow, depending on which platform you're on, and of course like this video. Would really appreciate it. And also I have a newsletter that comes out on a Monday. I know I missed this week. Basically it's just been a bit of a chaotic week, which is why I missed the streams too. But it is a weekly free newsletter over on Twitter, and you just need to go to the CryptoPig Media Twitter handle, and the link is there in the top of our page, so you can join up to that. It's absolutely free. It has loads of links to news articles, my opinions on things, and some charts and stuff like that. So please do make sure that you go over there and sign up to that as well. Right, with all that out of the way, let's do a hello to people. We've got Paul is in the chat with us now, thankfully. Paul, thank you for joining me. And over on Twitch, we've got Richie as well. Now, I'm going to apologise, guys. I know it was meant to be 9 o'clock. But if any of you actually did log on to the channel at 9 o'clock, I don't know what happened, but I think you may have actually seen me. Anyway, so I was having some technical issues. And then it looks like I was actually live, even though I thought I wasn't live. Now, hopefully, I didn't do anything too embarrassing, because that would have been pretty terrible. I've been there picking my nose or something like that. It wouldn't have got any worse than that. I guarantee. But apparently I was live for 15 minutes, so who knows what I was caught on camera up to. Hopefully nothing too terrifying. Maybe a few bogeys there for you to look at. So that's probably the most of it. But yes, it's been a busy week, and obviously it's the bank holiday today. But as you all know, crypto takes no holidays. And in fact, it was Jennifer herself who was saying that in our Telegram group. That crypto takes no holidays. Banks are, at the end of the day, banks are lazy. Crypto never sleeps. It's a 24/7 market, and it's looking very much like it's going to actually start picking up again this week. So, suppose with that being said, let's switch on over to our market recap for the week. So let's go and take a look and see what's been going on in crypto over the last week, and see where we are with regards to the price action on Coin360. So as you can see, I don't know what's happened there. Have I clipped half of the page off? We seem to be missing a little bit of the information. It does look like it. Let me just fix that in Streamlabs. Because we're missing half of the info. Where are we? There we go. That's a bit better. In fact, if I have to, I'll just make that a bit smaller. Perfect. Okay, so yes, as you can see, the market's looking pretty healthy, to be honest with you. Bitcoin did try for that 50k earlier this week. It hasn't been able to break through it just yet. It is testing that level, and of course came back a couple of grand as a result. But today, not doing too badly, considering that it is an extended weekend. Very fluffy hair today. Super fluffy hair. I can't do anything about it. In fact, I'm not very happy with my hair today. It just looks like, I don't know, it's not even Elvis. It's just poof. Oh well, never mind. Luckily enough, hair doesn't matter. What matters is what's going on in the crypto market right now. So yes, looking at it, we are looking quite good overall. Just back a little bit on Bitcoin. Back just over 1% on Cardano ADA, but we're still seeing some really good gains, especially on these Ethereum competitors. Sol still performing incredibly well, now at $110, which is pretty damn decent, up 20% again today. And this one just keeps gaining. I believe it's going to be a huge winner for those who got in early enough on it. ICP has pulled back a little bit more. We might look at the chart for ICP in the internet protocol, because I believe that this one is potentially a big winner, just because of the position it is in at the moment on the charts. I think it's very much bottomed out, but we'll have a look at that today as well. But definitely our layer 1 alternative solutions doing incredibly well over the last couple of weeks. Sol, of course, leading the pack there, but we are seeing gains on others like Polkadot and such forth too. And so yeah, keep your eyes on these. They're doing very well, and it's mainly because they're very mature in respect to Ethereum. Obviously Ethereum has had the most development time, it's had the most done to it, so it's well ahead of the game. But these other layer 1 solutions, they're catching up very quickly, and the actual technology is working, and so we're going to see some of these layer 1s. It's almost going to be like 2017, where people are going to start getting rich from new protocols. So keep an eye on it. It's quite high at the moment. you might want to wait for some sort of correction, but definitely keep an eye on these other layer 1 solutions. Basically anything to do with Ethereum and smart contracts is going to do well for the rest of this year. So Ethereum, layer 2 solutions, and then any of these decent top layer 1 alternatives are going to do very, very well in my opinion. We've got Chill Money in the chat. Hey Chill, I don't know what was going on with my stream, but you were on here because I saw you in the chat 15 minutes ago. Was I sat here and visible on the camera at that time, or was it a black screen? Let me know in the chat, because I want to know how embarrassed I should feel right now. Because I have a feeling that I was sat here staring at my screen live on camera for 15 minutes while I was trying to fix this. No, I wasn't. Whew. I was pretty sure I'd been sat there picking my nose, mate, and I was I thought that I was sat there with you know, my bogies on my finger or something like that. Like I told people, yeah, so that's fine. So I did have a technical issue, but then when I went back onto Streamlabs, it said I wasn't connected. I went into YouTube and it said I was live, and I was like, oh my god, have I been sat here like for the last 15 minutes trying to fix this thing live anyway? Well, no, I'm glad to hear that I was all right. Oh, dearie me. Hope you've all had a good bank holiday weekend. I suppose it probably only counts for you guys in the UK, Richie, but if you if you had, well, I hope you had a good weekend anyway. I missed Paul's comment earlier. You have that John Travolta from Greece happening. Yeah, that must be what it is, mate. It does feel a little bit sort of like that. Dear, I don't know. My hair's out of control half the time. I just if I don't get into the barber at least once a month, it just goes crazy. So yes. Anyway, market-wise, it's looking pretty stable right now. We are going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the rest of them anyway when we do our charts. But I was saying Soul doing very well. Layer 1 solutions looking pretty exciting over the next couple of months. I think that you know, we'll look for some entry points on these, I think. But then you know, because I don't know, you probably don't want to jump in yet because they've very, very you know, huge gains on it already. You want to be looking for some better entries on some other projects, which will be happening very soon, I'm pretty sure. So one of those ones I wanted to talk about was XRP. So of course this is the token that people love to hate, and for good reason. XRP and Ripple, and you know, especially Ripple, of course, as a company, do some pretty terrible things in a lot of people's opinions. And of course I'm in trouble with the SEC right now, but I do think that there is potential for a breakout on Ripple. I know that you can see actually straight away here while we're talking, there's this advertised video in Cointelegraph, XRP sell-off warning, which was back on August the 19th, and but if you have a look there, there's been no big massive sell-off yet. We'll look at the chart and I'll explain why I think that this is wrong. And I think that Melkin, whatever his name is incorrect about there being a sell-off. I think there's going to be actually a pump coming up. But yes, we'll have a look at the chart in a second. I wanted to just go over some stuff about the news regarding Ripple, because I think this is quite an actually very clever move by Ripple. Which is to basically file a motion to expose XRP holdings of SEC employees. Now, the court has reportedly given the US SEC until September the 3rd to respond to their motion to compel authority to provide data on its employees' XRP holdings. So this whole motion is basically them asking, you know, all right, yeah, you're going after us, but how many of your employees hold XRP, in what quantities, and you know, could this be affecting decisions being made about this case? And it's a very intelligent move, because it will add, could create doubt as to the motive behind the SEC taking this case. I don't think that it's necessarily going to work, but I certainly think it's smart play. This is a motion that's been put in place. It is a clever move, but it doesn't, it's not been replied to yet. I imagine that the SEC are going to try and have it struck down. But if they actually not win this, but get this motion to be accepted, that will create some interesting situation, I think, where we find out whether there's any staff members making gains, members of the team over at the SEC making any sort of money on Ripple and XRP. Obviously, that would be highly illegal. So I think that this is what Ripple are actually thinking could be the case. So this is kind of the stuff going on at the moment. And then if we look at the actual chart for XRP, it's looking pretty decent, actually. So this is on the 1-day time frame, and it's obviously XRP against USDT on Binance. And bear with me one moment. Oh, we've got some hellos in the chat. Let me just stop 1 second to say hello to people. We've got Cheesley. Hey, Cheesley, how are you doing? Cheesley says, waiting for you to stream is waiting for your stream to start was like waiting for a reply to my messages I sent you. Well, never ending forever. Yeah, I apologize, mate. I'm terrible at replying to messages and terrible at starting my streams on time, as Richie will definitely tell you. Oh, we've got a Sticky note in the chat again as well. Hey, Sticky, how are you doing, mate? I'm glad to see you there as well. I'm talking to these guys over on Twitch. Obviously, in YouTube, we've got Chill Money, Paul as well. And we've got now Married to the KGB. Hey, Papa, how are you doing, buddy? And we've got Misha Young. Horizontal scalability, layer 0 with near zero fees for cross-chain swapping. Misha, which project are you talking about? Layer 0 with near zero fees. Misha's going to shill us something. This will be your one chance to shill, Misha. Go for it. Launch coming very soon. Come on, Misha. What's the project called? This is your one chance to shill it. And then no more shilling, please. Or at least don't flood don't flood the comments in there with shilling. This is your chance to tell us about this project. Go on, what's the name of the project? Yes, fee sharing and token burning, Misha. Okay, what's the project called? Give us the name. I don't know if Misha's real. Misha, are you real or are you a bot? I'm feeling you're a bot, because I'm asking you for the name of the project. You're telling me lots of stuff, a unique project. Richie, I think it's a bot, mate. Misha, you had your chance. You've wasted it. Goodbye, Misha. 3, 2, 1, and the ban hammer comes down. Boom! Richie, there you go. All yours. There you go, Misha Young timed out. Well done, Richie. Thank you very much. That's what we do with our shillers. You've got a chance. You can shill it once. If you don't do it, that's fine. But don't keep on, because if you think you're a bot, the ban hammer comes down. And Richie is a pro mod, so he knows what he's doing there. Sticky Note says, glad to see you too. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we are talking about XRP because I think we're in a very interesting place for XRP right now. I do think that this is going to do well. YouTube is so slow, Richie says, yeah. So here we go then. So with XRP, we've seen these massive gains since, when was it? July the 21st. We did see ourselves 158% gains. We're now kind of sitting at around 120% gains since we hit the bottom. And we can see here very clearly, if we draw it in, fact, if we go zoom in a little bit. Oh dear, that's not what I was doing. That's fine. I didn't mean to draw that yet, but we'll take it. Let's go from the wicks. No, it's not really going to work from the wicks. Let's go with the candle bodies. Okay. It's terrible. Not even in line. Paul's reminding people hit the likes and retweet on Twitter. Yes, please do that. Thank you very much, guys. And Papa's saying, XRP holders, I've always found them to be the most annoying. They're classic moon boys parroting off the propaganda. It's very true, mate. It is very true. But we don't have to be part of the moon boys squad to be able to profit off it, as you guys well know. We can make our money without having to be part of that crew. Because I do think that we are going to see this breakout, and there's a couple of reasons for it. So first up, terrible drawn chart, really, really awful, because I'm being lazy. But you can see the pattern there. We've got this descending triangle at the top of a bullish flagpole. This is looking bullish to me. We are still up and above the, we're still above the 8-day SMMA, and if you use these SMA bands, you want really for the price to basically retain its position above this middle one, the orange one. If you can, you want it to sort of use this as a guide. If it breaks down from there, usually it tends to stay under it, as you can see here when we had our big breakdown. Once you break down below that line there, the 5-day SMMA ends up becoming like a resistance line. So we want to keep ourselves above this middle line, and we have done so far. And if we switch over to, in fact, actually before we do that, stochastic RSI, if you can see there, we went in briefly, not properly, but briefly we touched into that oversold area, and now we're back ranging in this middle section, which is obviously just kind of ranging territory. But you can see there that it looks like there may be a crossover there of the K line coming soon, which could mean that we'll see the price come down and retouch this support over the next couple of days. But the actual pattern seems to be holding up. This volume, look guys, is decreasing as we proceed. So I do think that we're probably going to see some sort of a breakout around the sort of end of this week coming. Then hopefully that's going to be a breakout to the upside. And one of the kind of things to back that theory up is if we take a look at XRP against Bitcoin. There we go, XRP against Bitcoin. And this pattern here is really, really lovely. If you take a look at this one, bull flag, right, post, or bullish growth there in the price, and then at the end of it, what we've got, a descending channel. Okay. And do you guys kind of remember what I've said about descending channels before? They tend to be bullish in the terms of this is the kind of price action you'll expect. So the price starts to come down in the channel, and it really is a perfect channel here. I think we're going to test here again. We're going to test down before we see a breakout. But normally what happens is with a descending channel, you get your breakout to the upside. And so I do think that we are going to see a breakout. Like I said, over the next sort of week, there's going to be this breakout from XRP. You can see it's definitely clear here on the XRP versus Bitcoin that there's that channel forming, and we've got that descending triangle on it against the USDT. So it's looking pretty bullish on the charts for XRP right now. Of course, we've got positive news for it in the media as well. So I think that we're going to see a breakout in the next week. So you're going to be wanting to look for your entry prices. Not financial advice, of course, but this is what I would be doing. Either I would be looking, if I'm going aggressive, I'd be looking to enter it at around $1.08. and setting a stop loss somewhere down here, just below the triangle. So maybe setting the stop loss at $1 perhaps. And if you're going to be sort of more cautious as a trader, you would probably wait for a breakout above the triangle, which is about $1.14. Okay, so that's the way you would kind of play it, and you would probably set your stop loss then. You'd probably set your stop loss the same sort of place, just below around $1, $1.04. Questions in the chat there. Paul is saying, FA questions here, will XRP actually be used by banks in the future? Now, it's a really good question, Paul, because we've got a lot of banks talking about using CBDCs, or central banks talking about developing their own currencies, their own digital currencies and assets. But we have actually got banks using XRP's technology. So the way that it works with XRP is that Ripple, you can use their technology without having to use the token, right? But the token is there if you want liquidity. If banks start to accept the idea of crypto and accept the idea of stable coins or central bank digital currencies, then they're maybe more likely to start looking at XRP as a liquidity option. Right, a lot of the bigger banks maybe don't need that, which is why they haven't used it yet. But certainly neobanks, these newer, smaller banks, the startups, they may well need the liquidity options that XRP has. Right now, you're not seeing any of that happening because, of course, it's a bit risky with the SEC filing. And to be honest with you, there's a tactical element to the SEC doing this. They're going after stable coins at the sort of US Fed level, and they're kind of doing this because they are planning, aren't they? The central banks there are planning to do their own central bank digital currencies, and of course, stable coins are a threat. XRP isn't a stable coin, but as a liquidity option for banks, it is of course a threat to the central bank digital currency plan. So this is all part of that. Now, if we find that the SEC drops its case or loses, or even if they decide that they win but take a fine and everybody moves on, then we will probably see more new banks, not big banks, but newer, like they call them, neobanks, probably take up XRP for liquidity reasons. So yeah, I do think that there is a chance that banks will start using it in the future properly. I don't know if it'll be the big top banks. I think that, the Moon Boys are all saying that, all the big banks are going to use XRP. That's not that's not the most realistic situation, but it is a possibility. You could definitely speculate on that. But I think that if you were to focus on more realistic level, if they can get through all the SEC stuff, then they will start to see it being used for liquidity by smaller new banks, and maybe bigger banks will take it on as a result. It does depend what happens with the court case, and also depends what happens with central bank digital currencies. But certainly if they become more accepting of that type of thing, then and other digital assets, as they call them, then they will definitely start to look on XRP more favorably. So I think that there is definitely the possibility that that's going to happen. And if that does, we could definitely see XRP hit very, very high valuations. But of course, you've got to worry about what's his face dumping his tokens every bloody month or so. That may not be too appealing to banks either. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of moving parts, but certainly the fact that if they wanted to integrate XRP into it, if they're already a bank using Ripple's technology, it's very, very easy for them to bring XRP into it. So I do think that there's definitely a possibility that banks will be using it. It just probably won't be the big top ones. Sticky Notes asking if I'll talk XLM today. I haven't really looked at XLM for a little while because it's not been doing an awful lot, but that might mean that it's going to do something pretty impressive soon. Usually when we see all these big moves from a lot of coins like XRP and all the rest of it, XLM isn't too far behind. So maybe we'll have a look at XLM. But like Sticky Note has just pointed out, it hasn't done shit. Exactly. So price-wise, I know that it hasn't moved very much at all. But that means maybe it's it's going to happen soon. But yes, XRP I think is going to break out, and I think it's going to break out pretty high. I think that if you look at the chart, let's take a look. Obviously the next level of resistance is going to be around $1.30, because it is the resistance level at the beginning of the, at the sort of cool off period that we got at the top of this bullish run. And of course it ties in with support when we were at the previous high. But let's see. I mean, if we see ourselves break through here, I think that the next target could be just under $2. It'll be about $2. You'll start to see some pullback and correction again. And I mean, I know that's still going to be quite a pretty decent amount of gains. Let's have a look. If we get up to $2, you're looking at another 73% gains on XRP. I think that that's definitely possible. I think it's probably going to take a similar time frame, probably about a month or a month and a bit. But I definitely think that $2 is the next target for XRP. Sticky Note says, I expected XLM to follow ADA a bit, but nope. Nope. Seeing as you bring it up, let's just take a look at XLM very quickly and see exactly what it is doing, or not doing, as may be the case. Oh, I don't want to click on any of them. Oh, they call it Stellar, don't they, on Binance? So let's do that. Stellar against Tether. Okay, so, well, I mean, I say it's not doing anything. Relative to XRP and the rest of the market, it's not doing an awful lot, but I mean, from the low, it is still up by 71%, 73%. But actually, if you take a look at it here on the chart, it looks like it too is going to basically print out this descending triangle pattern. Quite possibly you're going to see a breakout on Stellar XLM as well. You see there that actually on the stochastic RSI, it is heading towards the oversold territory. I think once we get down to there, it's probably going to be looking at around 4th to 6th of September, maybe end of next week. Again, maybe we'll see some sort of breakout on the Friday, and hopefully the weekend trading will bring it up. Next level of resistance though for Stellar looks a little bit less sort of like less sort of pumpy than XLM. That's a technical term, I tell you. Pumpy, but it looks a little less likely that it's going to pump as high or as fast as XRP, for example. You can see there that there's going to be a fair bit of resistance at around the sort of 43-cent level. But I think that if we can get ourselves up over 43 cents, make that some sort of support level, I think that Stellar's probably going to be a slower return to the to the high of 80 cents. But I do think that it's going to get there. I think the rest of the market is heading there, and it's just not moving as fast. I'd like to maybe check and see what they're doing fundamental wise, if there's anything going on with the project that maybe will result in a nice fast pump up. But at the moment, it does look like there'll be a breakout, but I don't know if you'll make sort of significant gains compared to some of the other coins on the market right now. Let's go quickly check what people are saying over on YouTube as well. Okay, we've got Papa saying, I think the banks will only use it after the court case outcome. We're talking about XRP there. Not sure how long the court case could take. Anyone have any idea of timescale of the legal case? Good question. No idea. I don't know how long these things take, Papa. I think that they moved pretty quickly with a lot of the other projects that they went after in 2017. But they didn't go after many, really, and a lot of them just gave up and just paid fines. None of them, as far as I remember, went all the way to court, or at least didn't, go full on with it. So I don't know how long it'll take me, but maybe somebody in the chat will. Papa also says, I'm holding out with VChain vet, right or wrong, but probably wrong. Am I mad? VChain, what's VChain doing? Let's take a look at VChain quickly. We're doing it a little bit backwards here. We're doing our charts now rather than later. Will it be called VChain on Binance? Yep. Let's go and take a look at that. No, I don't think you're mad. I think that VChain, again, it looks like most of our altcoins are looking bullish right now, guys. So, no, I don't think you're mad right now. I think that there's a good chance that that one's going to break out too. These are all looking pretty bullish, actually. So, I think we're going to have a really good month for September. I am actually feeling that we're going to have a very good month coming into September for crypto. And so these projects, they're all looking very bullish here. I think we're going to be looking at some good gains for a lot of projects, actually. It's just going to be a case of choosing the right ones and the ones that are going to pump first. I honestly think that the blue chip ones, things like things like XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all of our top coins, ADA, those lot, they're all going to be the ones to pump first, and then we'll see it trickle down. We have obviously seen some great gains from some of those other layer 1 options. I think that we'll also see some pumps for Matic again and other layer 2s. Scale has been doing incredibly well, guys. I did buy into it, and very glad that I did. I think it's Scale that did really well. I bought a couple of different ones. There we go. So this one here has 141% since we hit the bottom. So this one's doing pretty damn well too. We're not printing any sort of pattern at the moment on the daily time frames. It just seems to be still basically moving in that bullish trajectory, and we're not even in oversold yet. So I do think we've got probably maybe a week or two of gains for Scale before maybe a week of gains for Scale, bringing us up to probably about 50 cents before there's any sort of significant slowdown. And what I think we'll see then is we're going to then see this one range and create some sort of a triangle pattern, much like what we've seen with the rest of the market. One thing to be wary of, though, is there is some pretty hefty volatility. Yeah, this is very bullish. And in some ways, I wish I'd been day trading it. I didn't. I just bought in and let it ride up. But you can see here that we're seeing sort of 20% gains and losses a day, over the course of a couple of days. So day trading wise, looks like there's some really good opportunities there for traders with skill in this. You can also see there's divergence there on the actual the stochastic, so just to keep that in mind. But actually still looking pretty good. Right, so Scale, another interesting one. These layer 2 solutions are going to just keep doing very, very well, I think. Let us take a look at any more comments quickly before I move to the next part of the video. Alright, cool. So I wanted to hit on this one because I thought this was interesting and nobody's made a big fuss about it, even though I think technically it's a big deal. But basically today, Ethereum, there was a split in the chain, and we saw actually a half of the nodes switch and split off. So basically, it's an attacker exploited a vulnerability in older versions of Geth, which is Ethereum's top software client. Okay, so when you create a node, you'll probably be running Geth, and they found a vulnerability, exploited it, which caused the nodes to actually split from the main network. Now, luckily, it wasn't a big enough problem because the nodes can just update and patch the software to basically fix the issue and get back onto the main net. But this could have been a lot more disastrous for Ethereum. But fortunately, it doesn't seem to have had a massive impact. Something like this could have caused massive crash in Ethereum's price, but as you can see, it's not had an effect on the market at all. I think that's because it got fixed very quickly, or at least, you know, the issue was identified and it's not actually affected the market. But you know, it's worth, like they say here, it's worth noting that popular EVM compatible chains are also at risk of this hack. So do they actually say which ones were a part of it, or why is it doing that? I don't need. No, it doesn't say, but Polygon apparently would be one of those from that link there. So yeah, so I thought it was very interesting, but it didn't seem to have a knock-on effect on the market, which is good, but kind of also a bit kind of crazy, because you'd think that something like that would make people panic. But everybody is proper excited about Ethereum, and I don't think anybody's willing to give up their Ethereum, hack or no hack, by the looks of it. So yes, we'll move. Next up, we talk about leading DeFi projects. This one I thought was really interesting. Okay, so this is an initiative. It's basically to try and get more people involved in using DeFi and developing for DeFi. It's a $100 million venture called DeFi for the People, and it has a lot of big names involved. So Aave are involved, Sushi Swap Curve, 0x, and Pool Together, as well as some other smaller ones as well. And it's basically an educational initiatives, grants, and incentives to educate individuals globally about decentralized finance. It's being built on Cello's ecosystem, so keep an eye on Cello, because that may well see some boost in price, especially when we think about it. Some of these other projects that have been doing these big, very, very high value ventures of funds and things like that, they have done very well as a result of those. So Cello could well start seeing some really big sort of gains if this project works. So keep an eye on Cello. In fact, I mean, what is Cello doing now? Let's take a look. I feel like I'm enjoying looking at the charts today because they all look kind of bullish. Let's have a look at Cello and see what we've got there. Oh, wow. I think I might have missed the party on this one, guys. Bloody hell. So that news broke, and I mean, if you have a look, it was doing all right anyway with that, you know, bullish breakout. And actually, if you have a look, no, it's not really. Ignore the last. I was going to say, if you have a look there, that's looks a bit like what Scale's doing right now, but the fractals beforehand aren't similar enough. But there's that big breakout, and look at this today. It went up 156% in one day on the news that it was doing that $100 million fund. I don't know. I would wonder how well it holds here. I mean, it's not even oversold on the stochastic RSI, so I would definitely keep an eye on this. I mean, if this stabilizes here and posts a bull flag, this one's going to go really high. And so I'm going to do some more research on Cello, guys. Make a note of it, and this is a project that needs to be looked into because I haven't really done much research on it. And if it turns out that at $6.50, $6.80 or whatever it is right now, it's still kind of lowish market cap, relative to other DeFi projects out there or networks. It's an actual blockchain, isn't it? So it's a layer 1. So yeah, if it looks like it's relatively low market cap, this might be a good one to look into. You can see it's kind of pulling back now. I mean, you're going to see sell-off, definitely, because people are going to be excited and take their gains. And everybody who was buying here, I'm assuming this was the all-time high, and then just sort of all dumped down over the last couple of months, may well sell off too. So just keep an eye on that. but if we see some range in there, it might be a good one to get into, but I need to do more research, so don't jump in on it because I've said, but I do take a look at it. It looks interesting, especially with that big, grant there, the big fund that they're putting together. Initiative, sorry, is what they call it. Papa says in the chat, YouTube definitely restricting crypto channels. It's criminal that somebody who is good at presenter and as well informed as you only having 5 views here. It's alright, mate. I appreciate it though. I do. I to be honest with you, I'm not too worried about it. I think that it did put me off, the fact that I wasn't getting a lot of views, because as you guys know, the last channel we had like 10,000 subs, and we had, at least not hundreds of thousands, but we had thousands of views on videos, and my pre-recorded stuff was getting thousands of views. And I'm not being funny, but you only have to look at the last couple of months before I switched to just doing live streams. My pre-recorded stuff, which should have been getting loads of views, you can see the numbers just dropping, even though I was doing the content. And I have heard from other people in the space that they're finding that they're having to do daily videos in order to keep themselves going in the algorithm. It does look like the algorithm is punishing crypto streams. I think that's because of all the kind of scammers and stuff like that that's been going on, and probably all the sort of YouTubers that have been selling off projects onto their followers, which I haven't done to you guys. In fact, it's obviously opposite. It seems to me you guys tell me what projects to look at, and I end up buying into them. Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with that. I'm hoping that it will get better, but that's why at the moment I'm just doing live streams with you guys, because to be honest with you, if I'm just sat with you, even if it's 5 or 6 of you, it doesn't really matter. I've got 4 over on Twitch as well. To be honest with you guys, for me, it feels like hanging out with my friends and being able to chat about crypto. It keeps my mind ticking, keeps me thinking, look, I'm going to look at Cello next now as a result. So I find there's benefit in it for me as well, even without the audience. But yeah, I do appreciate that, Papa. And I would like to just say thank you to you guys that have, you've stuck with the channel for a long, long time, and you've all been good friends to me, and I do really appreciate it. You're all very cool, and I'm just glad that you still find it valuable to spend some time hanging out with me. I really do. So thank you very much. Yes, going back to the news, we've got a couple of hacks this week. We're going to see more of this stuff coming. Hong Kong-based crypto exchange Binance hacked. Richie's commented as well. Annoys the shit out of me. There's a guy that promotes crypto Ponzi scams, gets hundreds of views per day, and I report every single video as a scam, and YouTube does nothing. I know, Richie, it's just ridiculous that they get away with it, and then when they do get caught out or stopped, they just create a new stream, and they don't even change anything. They use the same setup. It's just a pre-recorded video with Streamlabs over the top, I think. I'm assuming it's something like that. And they just do it on a new channel and get away with it. It'd be interesting to know how much money the guy makes out of it. I think he does actually get some, doesn't he? I remember looking at it before, and there was a good couple of thousand on one of the addresses that he was asking people to send money to. And it just shocks me, to be honest with you. And then, decent channels don't do very well. But I take kind of like, I'm not too worried about it or upset about it. And I take kind of comfort in the fact that I've seen other YouTubers, ones that have been doing it a while, who are either newer than me or older than me, in fact, who have got similar views. Because at least I know it's not just me. And those are better YouTubers, to be honest with you. Some of them are much better looking than me, and and stay on point as well, and don't get waffling like I do. But there's I think you'll find you just need to look at who's on there and who's got the views. Obviously, you've got the big names that are still doing very well, but that's because they built up their audience before YouTube started cracking down on all this stuff, in my opinion. I'm just trying to find one as an example, actually. Let's see. You get people like BitBoy, you get like 7,000 people watching. The guy, I don't hate him or dislike him or anything, but you know, it's just annoying. It's just did TikTok and all the rest of it, and suddenly he's a crypto, you know, celebrity. But you know, never mind. But you know, people like that, Layla Hypeburn, I think is her name. She's got like you know, she's got decent videos, and she doesn't get loads and loads of views either. I can't find her while I was going to have a look for her on here, but it's kind of just the way it is, I think. Papa says there, to be fair, I only have 100 odd subs and I thought it was great, lol. Well, actually, yeah, you've been building your channel as well, haven't you, Papa? I think it's really good. What's Richie say? Oh, this one is different. He was a MLM channel and changed to crypto. Promotes different coins and scams, the 1 to 10% APY stuff. While watching, he has made nearly $1 million from affiliate. Right. Yeah. Well, see, I don't hate. I don't want to hate anybody, Richie. But yeah, I know that it does annoy me. So MLM stuff. Multi-level marketing. The guy obviously knows how to sell shit to people. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what it is. And you know, I'm not going to trash talk him, but you know, he's obviously got the skills there to convince people to click his links. Oh yeah, 1 to 10% a day. Yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, a lot of these people, I don't know about BitBoy himself. I haven't looked, but I know a lot of them promote the 100x leverage crap and all the rest of it. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm just too sort of safe, and I sort of say to you guys, don't I? Say, oh, you probably want to wait till it breaks out to here. Whereas these guys are like, you want to buy it now? You've got to buy it now. Buy this one. Buy it right now. Don't do the fundamentals. Just listen to what I say. And by the way, when you do buy it with 100x leverage. And here I am going, yeah, don't use leverage unless you really know what you're doing. And then I'm like, and I will only ever go to sort of 5% leverage if I want, you know, most of the time. It's very low leverage on a position because I don't like getting wiped out. But you know, it's different styles, and I suppose, you know, it's all flashy, but it works for him. But then this works for me. I'm much more happy to kind of go through the news with you guys and talk about what's going on. And I feel like you guys learn a bit about what's going on. It probably makes you better aware of the market. And we obviously chat about all of this stuff and get a little bit more stuff about it. The outrageous price predictions. I could do some of those myself, but but at least, yeah. Although, actually, I think I've been pretty much on the ball with a lot of them, except graph. Just never talk about the graph, ever. Except I always talk about the graph. Even though I say never talk about the graph, I'm always talking about the graph. I can't help myself. I feel so depressed about it. It was a sure winner. Look at it. Bloody trash. It won't be trash. Eventually it's going to be like Chainlink. I'm pretty certain it's going to be like Chainlink. BitBoy buys his own NFTs to bump the price. Yeah, that's true. He has done that. I think that's actually a fact. I don't think I need to worry about legal repercussions for saying that, because I'm pretty sure that there was evidence shared about that. I also know that there's other guys that steal articles as well, so they'll sort of, I won't say his name, but you know what I mean, who's been caught getting people to do test articles for him and then he's published them and not given credit, which I just think is really crappy. I mean, the guy, you know, this isn't BitBoy, this is a different YouTuber. He could have just said to these people, look, do a test article for us, we'll put it on the website. If it gets traction, you get a job. If not, well, you know, your name's on an article on our website. That I think most writers would be pretty cool with, because the guy that I'm talking about this time, he has a decent following, you know, and you know, yeah, he should be paying people to do articles, but I think if he was upfront about the deal, people would probably take it still. So it just seems really nasty and underhanded, which is a shame. But you know, again, the guy I'm talking about here is probably a bit of an MLM type person as well. Anyway, we're not turning into one of them channels where we moan and groan about everybody else, because we don't need to. Or do we? Do we need to just spend? Is that what the stream should be about? Dunking on other YouTubers that are bigger than us. It probably isn't the best sort of use of energy. I think making cash, making money, and educating ourselves is probably better for us in the long run, I reckon. Let's sticky note is like, oh yeah, I'm holding a bag of GRT right next to my XLM. Yes. Oh my god. It's those bags of GRT and XLM that are killing us now. No, I'm sure they're going to pump back eventually. I mean, it is very disappointing. It's just... I mean, it's good to see. I haven't looked at this one for a while. You know, you can see that on the 12th of August, it did break out of that channel. It was just ranging sideways for ages. So it's good it's broken out of there, but it looks like it's going to just kind of hover here for a bit. I mean, with any luck, we'll see some sort of a bounce from the sort of 0.88 cents level on GRT, and maybe that'll happen towards the end of next week or the week after. I still have my bag. I'm just going to hold it. I'm not too worried. In fact, I don't think I'm even that far away from being back into profit, really. But I mean, where was it? We were on this... And so we probably bought back in at some point there. So I don't think we're too far off being back in profit on that one. It's just a case of waiting for this one. I honestly think the GRT is going to be a big one. And to be honest with you, I reckon we'll probably come back down, like I said, to around 0.8. I might buy some more at that point. Did I say 0.8 or 0.78? Sorry, is what I meant. 78 cents. I might buy some more at that point. I honestly think that it is a great project. But there's, you know, it's just, for whatever reason, doesn't want to move. I do think there is going to be a chain link. I think it's going to be a big gainer eventually. So you can put a pin in that if you want, and we'll see how it works out at the end. As regards to Bitcoin, let's go and I think we'll go and have a look at our sort of main coins now. Actually, no, let's quickly talk about Cardano. I want to talk about Cardano ADA because, you know, I love Cardano, but I was worried about the price. I'm not worried about it now because we are well above that sort of resistance level that was kind of scaring me. Richie, that chart is basically a mirror image of your prediction line. Let's go on. It is. Oh my god, this is exactly a mirror image. That's terrifying, isn't it? Well, although actually, guys, if you have a look there, I predicted it was going to go there. So if it was a complete mirror, we would have tanked out by now. So thank God. Draw a new line. Shall we see what happens? My new prediction line, guys, is going to be: don't buy GRT, short it. I'm telling you to short it because it's going to go here. It's going to bounce here for a week, and then it's going to just plunge all the way down 200%. I'm going to leave this here, guys, and we're going to look at GRT in 2 weeks' time. You have to hold me to it. Hold me to account. We'll look at GRT, and let's see if the opposite happens, and we get that, you know, we're going to see it go like this. It's going to go there, and it's going to just go boom. Let's hope. I'll delete that one, though. Let's leave the bad line on here, and hope that the power of reverse psychology works. That's what they do on Twitter. Delete the original, pretend it never happened. Yeah, that's right. Well, that's true. You're always right if you delete the wrong tweets. I know, I'm going to leave these in here. I'm going to leave this new prediction in here. Let's go for it. Don't short GRT though, by the way. I am joking. It's probably not going to be dumping 100 now to XLM. Alright, come on, for the fun of it, let's just stick a line in there as well. XLM. Oh, let's go Stellar on. Oh, what am I looking at there? Right, there we go. So I think, guys, Stellar is just going to break down from here terribly. It's going to be so sad, okay, guys? It's going to literally plummet. It's going to drop through all these support levels. And it's going to come down here. And it'll just do this. It might do that. And then it's going to just go even further down. Alright. We've done our... Oh dear. Oh, Papa's got to go to bed. He's got an early day tomorrow. Alright, mate, I'll let you get on. Take it easy. I'm going to wrap up the stream in a second anyway with just these last little bits of news. So thank you for joining me tonight. I do appreciate it, mate. It's really good of you to be here. Okay, so yeah, quickly then, moving on. Cardano ADA. Thought this was really big news. The ERC20 converter is going live on the testnet. This is going to be pretty damn important. I don't know how the tech of it works. I think it's just like a bridge, but it's pretty exciting. Basically, you're going to be able to bring any Ethereum based token over to Cardano's testnet. Okay, pardon me, a bit of indigestion there. I'll have a drink. So yeah, users of Ethereum-based tokens will be able to benefit from Cardano's transaction capacity and lower fees. The ERC20 converter would also enable users to experience enhanced security, reduced costs, and interoperability on the blockchain. The tool will be a self-service tool. Now, the reason I think this is pretty damn amazing. So far, right? We've been looking at solutions for Ethereum being Ethereum Layer 2 solutions. Now, depending on the speed of Cardano's Ethereum, what's the actual official name for it? Converter, ERC20 converter. This could be game-changing in that this is going to act like a Layer 2, but obviously it's a different blockchain. I think that this could be massive news for Cardano, to be honest with you guys. The fact that you'll be able to convert over to Cardano easily. I know it's effectively like a bridge, but if it's fast and it's effective, it's going to be very popular. And I think that we could definitely see some really good gains on Cardano as a result. Now, Sticky Note says, a few months ago you called for ADA to go to $1, and that's when I stayed in XLM. what was it back a few months ago? Cardano was well below, wasn't it, when I brought it up? I've been really bullish on Cardano up until this kind of dump that we had recently. And I don't know if, Sticky, you were about when I explained the reason for that, because I think some people thought I was just being a dick. Do you know what I mean? I think people just thought I was being an arse. And I was like, there's a good chance it's going... there's a good chance that it's going to go down to 30 cents. And people probably thought I was just being... being an arsehole about it. But I wasn't, and the reason I was saying that is because of the lack of support. We'd seen the price pump so fast and so high so quickly that there was literally no support zones between where we were at around $1 and then 30 cents, which is why we were pretty negative about it. But yeah. Now you can see I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. I think I drew this line in ages ago. I said about, we wanted to see it break out. And you can see there, this is from previous time we talked about Cardano, the trending resistance line. We broke out from that nicely. We did kind of retest that, and then we continued up. And this became support again. And like I said then, we'll see hopefully a range there and bounce further. It didn't even wait to range there. 2 days touching that, that support level, and it flew back up again. Now, of course, we're seeing ourselves kind of start to consolidate here around the $2.80 to $2.40, 50, actually $2.50 level. So Cardano ADA is looking pretty healthy there. We're probably going to see some ranging here now, though, I think. And you can see it's kind of being shown here in the stochastic RSI as well. But I think Cardano ADA is going to do very well. This tool particularly could do wonders for it. Obviously, it's only on the testnet right now. We'll see how excited people get. Obviously, when it goes live properly on mainnet, that's when we will see the price go crazy. So, with us being up well above that sort of previous support zone now, if we can find ourselves building more support here, all I want to see is some support building. If we can see it sort of building here at this resistance, that to me would be great, and I feel very confident that we're going to go much higher for Cardano ADA. And I mean, we could be looking at $10 Cardano. That would mean a very huge market cap, but the potential is there. There is potential for it. So I'm feeling pretty bullish about that one now, as a result of all the stuff that's now getting done at last. Then the last thing, Bitcoin. Institutional investors not slowing down on Bitcoin. Here's how much they own. Now, I think I might have tweeted this out a while ago, or maybe I did it on my work account. But basically, 8% of the total supply of Bitcoin is now held by institutional investors, which is some billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And more is being bought up by them every single day. And I know that because I work with these companies, so I know that they are buying it up. So the actual good news here is that right now it's only 8% of the total supply is with the institutional investors. That means that more institutional investors are likely to come into the space, but they're not here yet, right? And because of that, there is still the opportunity for us to continue accumulating Bitcoin and other crypto, because I think that this year 100k for Bitcoin is actually pretty possible. I know that it seems a bit mad when we only have a few months left, but I think we're going to definitely try for it at least this year. We're going to try to get to 100k. Whether we get there or not, I don't know yet, but I just... The market, the fundamentals, they're all pointing towards some really big gains this quarter. And so we will quickly look at Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap it up, because I have kind of done the coin for you guys as we've worked on it. Okay, so here we have it for Bitcoin. It hasn't got quite to where I wanted it to get to. If you have a look there, you can see that we had that channel, and I said to you there at that time, I said either we break out above it in range, then pop up, or we continue in it for a little while before we see any sort of breakout. And actually, you can see that we did in fact break out from the channel. It took the other option. This is what I like about this, is that at that point there, where were we, July, I said to you guys then, I said, look, the realistic thing here is that it's either going to break out and continue and range along there for support, or it's going to drop down and it's going to continue to range in this channel, and people will panic that we're going to go to zero, but we're not. We're going to range in this channel, and then we'll break out at some point later on in the season. Pardon me. And of course, I was quite happy to say that it played out. At least it didn't play out to the bearish scenario, and we did in fact get a breakout just a little bit further down the line. And you can see there that actually that sort of resistance level there became support, and ties in with my initial prediction there. It just found support where I thought it would, and then actually broke out. I thought we might see a triangle, but it actually broke out from there again, and it's now kind of just ranging its way up. And of course 50k is proving to be quite tough resistance, but it actually ties in here with this this trending support line from when we were at the all-time high and during that Wyckoff distribution event. So it makes sense that we're going to range here. I'd hoped we'd break above it and then range and find support against 50k, but it looks like we're actually on the opposite side of that line, but we are definitely ranging and going to hopefully break out from here soon. It's going to take it's going to take a bit more volume. It's going to take probably a couple of weeks. You see there that volume is declining. We've had a couple of bearish days, but we're holding above that 8-day SMAA. So it's still looking pretty good in my opinion. Although don't want to worry, but just want to make sure that the bulls don't run out of steam. Get us up over 50k and we're off. Okay, that's the way it's going to work. Too much info, says Stonks. Too much info. Thanks for joining us. We are just doing our charts for Bitcoin, and we will do Ethereum as well. Just because I don't think we looked at Ethereum yet, have we, guys? Or have I already? I don't think we looked at it. Ethereum doing exactly what I said it would do. Perfectly, exactly what I said it would do weeks ago. Okay, so we are ranging, and obviously it's looking like we're just, well, I don't know how long we're going to range for. We are finding resistance here, aren't we? Quite a bit of it at $3,333. It wouldn't surprise me if we see sort of maybe a couple of red candle days over the next few days, as we kind of range in the middle of the stochastic RSI. But I do think that it's going to break out to the upside very soon. We have held, so far everything's gone to plan on Ethereum, so we're not very far off from the all-time high. So again, I think that give it a couple of weeks, Ethereum is going to be pumping too as well. Paul's going to be leaving the stream. He's got to jump out right now. Okay, mate, thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming along. And yes, you're right, it's probably time to call it a night. It is 11:15. So I will do the same, actually. Now we've kind of wrapped up with all of our news and our charts. Guys, if you want to let me know what charts you'd like to see in the newsletter today, please do pop them in the comments or tweet them to us at CryptoPig Media or myself at James M. Stothard. Do that tonight. Tweet me the coins you'd like me to put in the newsletter and I will chart them and make sure that they're in that newsletter for you guys. If you haven't signed up to the newsletter, you can do that at Twitter at CryptoPig Media. There's a nice little link for you to do so at the very top. In fact, actually, if I go over to our Twitter page, I can show you very quickly. And there we go. Okay, so over at CryptoPig Media, you can see there's a link to it there, newsletter. 15 subscribers already, not too bad considering, it's a small, CryptoPig fam's pretty small. So I don't think we're doing too badly there. So if you haven't already done it, please do, click on that and sign up to it. It's free. And as you can see, I put the charts in there and all the other stuff, the news, everything that you could want to know about. So yeah, if you want to do that, that'd be really helpful. Alright guys, so with all of that said, I hope that you all had a great stream. I'm sorry I wasn't with you all last week. I do apologise for it. But I'm back and I will be with you again on Friday this week as well. So have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will say good night and take care, I guess. Thanks, Richie. Thank you so much once again, Richie, for being a fantastic mod. Really do appreciate it. And Sticky Note, thanks for joining. And Too Much Info as well, mate. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll catch all of you on Friday as well. Cheesley, if you're still in the chat lurking there, have a good one, mate. I will reply to your text messages. I'm very bad at that. I know it. I know Solomon as well. Thank you very much, Solomon, for joining us tonight. Paul, I think you've dropped off already, but thank you, mate, and Papa too. All right, guys, have a great night. Chill Money too, if you're still there with us. All right, have a great night, everybody, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.